Kaiser's loyalty. When veteran cop Nathan Riley loses his partner in a shootout, he is on the verge of quitting the force and denying himself. But one encounter with a former service sheepdog named Kaiser, who has also experienced loss, changes everything. Two broken hearts united in silence. When a network of deep corruption is revealed in the city, Kaiser and Nathan become the ones who rise up against the system. This is a story of duty, pain, loyalty, and a love that knows no words. And at the very end, a reminder that even after the longest darkness, light returns. Chapter 1. The Silence After the Gunshot.
The police station was so quiet that Nathan could hear the clicks of the second hand on the wall clock. All of life seemed to be frozen on that edge where the past was still close and the future seemed impossible. In front of him lay the badge, heavy as if forged from his guilt and pain. Next to it was a newspaper folded in half. The headline read, "Police officer killed trying to apprehend gunman." A photo of Brian, full of life. Signed, Officer Brian Connor, 34, hero and father of 2. And Nathan survived. He didn't know how. It all happened in seconds. They entered the house through the back door, guns at the ready. There was a pop, then another, and Brian fell. He remembered the rest of it like a blur. The sirens, the blood, the scream of a partner who would never open his eyes again. 3 weeks had passed, but every morning when he arrived at the station, he hoped it was all a dream. Sitting at his desk, he relived that fateful moment over and over again, trying to figure out, what could he have changed? What should he have done differently? There was a quiet knock on the door as if afraid to disturb his privacy. Nathan didn't move. "Riley, I'm sorry." His voice sounded hesitant, almost guilty. "The captain wants you to come to him. Right now." Nathan raised his head slowly, nodded. He stood up heavily as if the weight inside him kept him from moving any faster. The captain's office smelled of old coffee and antiseptic, a familiar mixture associated with endless shifts and sleepless nights. The captain silently pointed to a chair and held out a document. Application for leave of absence. Take a couple weeks, get some rest. "I don't need a vacation," Nathan replied dryly. "Then perhaps a pension. You've given 20 years to the service. No one will judge you." "I'm still an officer," he said harshly and painfully. The captain sighed and, after hesitating, pulled a folder out of a drawer. "There's something else. I think you should take a look at it." The folder contained a photograph of a German shepherd with intelligent, attentive eyes. Black and red hair. A look of pride and sadness. Name: Kaiser. "That's Brian's dog," the captain said gently. "He's at the shelter now. He refuses to eat, he's aggressive, and the staff is afraid to approach him. If no one picks him up, he'll be... you know." Nathan's throat was dry. "When?" "In 2 days." Nathan stood up silently and headed for the exit. Words were unnecessary. The air outside was cold and prickly, as if the wind was trying to push him back. The shelter wasn't far away, and soon he could already hear the nervous barking of dogs, feeling anxious and tense. "Kaiser is in the last cage," the girl's staff member reported quietly. "It's hard with him. He won't let anyone near him. But Brian always said that Kaiser senses people." Nathan nodded, his heart squeezed at these words. He walked slowly to the cage. The dog sat in the corner, turned away and shrunken into a ball. But as Nathan approached, the sheepdog suddenly turned his head. Their gazes met. For a second, both stood still as if recognizing each other. Then the dog slowly stood up and approached the bars. Nathan held out his hand. Carefully sniffing his fingers, Kaiser lay down as if recognizing his right to be near him. "It's amazing," the employee whispered. "No one could get near him." "I'm taking him," Nathan said firmly. "Now?" "Immediately." They drove home in complete silence. Kaiser lay in the back seat staring out the window with a blank but attentive gaze. Nathan wasn't sure why he'd taken him, but he knew there was no other choice. He couldn't let the dog die. At home, he prepared a blanket, a bowl of water, and food. Kaiser didn't even look at the food, but lay down by the door with his head resting on his paws. Nathan poured whiskey and sat down opposite the dog. The first sip made his throat feel hot. "You lost him too, didn't you?" The dog didn't answer, but looked at him with a look of understanding that made Nathan uncomfortable. He set the glass on the table. "Now we are both alone." Kaiser suddenly raised his head and stared at the door as if he had heard something beyond the reach of the human ear. Nathan felt a chill run down his spine. Someone was out there outside. He stood up slowly and reached for his gun, keeping his eyes on the door. His heart beat faster. "What's in there, Kaiser?" The dog growled softly. It wasn't just a growl. It was a warning. And it was at that exact moment that a knock sounded on the door.
End of chapter. Kaiser hears what others can't, and the next chapter is closer than you think. Let him lead you further. Thank you for watching. This was only the beginning. Don't forget to subscribe and tap the bell. The next chapter awaits.